Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us today, letting us have another day to enjoy each other and be in each other's presence again. We ask that you continue to bless each and every one of us and bless Rayada as she gives this message. Let it be a message that'll uplift your kingdom, that'll be a message to empower as well as help others. And we just ask, Lord, that you continue to be in the midst of this podcast and that we are doing as you see fit and please. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Hey friends, welcome back to the Inner Room Podcast. I'm your favorite host, Rayada K. Y'all, I'm so excited to be back. I say that every time we shoot. But I'm excited. I like talking to y'all. I missed y'all. And I know y'all probably missed me because we skipped a week, but we back. We are back and we are better than ever. So this week, I kind of want to we're just going to dive head first. We're going straight in. And I kind of want to talk about like shifting, like the feelings and the emotions and like sensing a shift. Because I'm at a point in my life, right, where I went from, I feel like posture, position, and perspective all play a huge role in the shifting of seasons or the shifting of things in your life, and I kind of want to dissect it just a little bit. So the title of this episode is going to be Posture, Position, and Perspective, y'all. We're going to talk about it. We're going to kind of dive into it a little bit. So let's start with me. Y'all know I love a good story time. So story time. Over the course of the last, probably like, so many weeks. But mostly in the last, probably like in the last 3 weeks, I have had a series of events happen in my life, right? Whether that be falling out with friends, whether that be my face swelling because my teeth hurt, and whatever you can think of has probably happened to me over the course of the last 3 weeks. And in all of that, I got to a place where I'm like, God, what? Like, what are we doing? What is happening? Why are we here? And it got to the place where I'm just like, I'm not seeing God in this. I started allowing my situation to taint my vision, right? I was getting to a place where it was just like, I can't see the good in none of this. And one thing I always live by is that all things work together for our good, right? So if all things work together for my good, then regardless as to what this situation is, there's good in this someplace. Like there's some type of good in this. And so the first P I want to talk a little bit about is perspective. Because whenever you are in a situation where it feels as though God isn't there, because like I tell y'all, almost every week, we do not operate off of our feelings. When you end up in a situation where you are, you're not really feeling like God is there, or you're not really feeling like you have anybody, you're feeling like you're alone, the first thing you want to check is your perspective. Your perspective is going to be the number one thing where you like, okay, hold up. Let me see if I can shift a little bit and try to open up my view, right? And so in my situation, I'll use an example. I was dragging along. I was upset, and I'm just like, this don't feel good. And I had a series of events happen, and I went to the gym one morning. I go to the gym, and one of the guys that I socialize with when I'm at the gym, he was just like, where are you going? Because I tried to leave, y'all. I just wasn't feeling it. I was at the gym for like maybe 15 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling this today. I'm about to go home. And I'm getting ready to leave. And one of the guys, he's like, where are you going? And I was like, home. I'm not really feeling this today. And he was like, let's talk about it over a workout. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess I might as well just talk it out, vent it out, because we only know each other inside the gym, so you ain't really got much to judge me off of, so I'm gonna just talk. So we go and we kind of start working out, and I would start talking. And as I'm talking, right, he would realize that I'm getting overwhelmed, and he'll be like, pause, finish the set. Okay, let's finish the set. So I'll finish the set, and then I'll continue my sentence because I felt like I had a little bit more strength then. And then it continued, and at the end of our conversation, he spoke directly to what I was going through. And I was like, oh, wow. And so when I got back home, it made me a little emotional because I had realized after taking a moment to take a step back and being able to talk through how I was feeling, that my perspective was wrong, right? I wasn't seeing things for what they were. I was seeing things for how they felt. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, God, this man just said exactly how I feel, word for word, how I prayed about it to you. And I almost didn't even catch it because my perspective was off. So when I say a shift, when I say sensing a shift, right, because I know things are changing in my life. I know that there is some good getting ready to happen, and God is about to do something incredible because I can feel it. But I have to make sure that in my current situation, whatever that situation is, that my perspective is always, okay, where's the good in this? Right. Now, let's talk a little bit about P number 2. We're going to talk about P number 2. So the second one I kind of want to talk about is posture. Posture. So the reason why I want to talk about posture is because in order for you to have that moment where your perspective changes, you have to check your heart posture, right? And when you're going into these situations, it's mostly about going in from a standpoint of, okay, where am I in this? So I had a situation where things got a little rocky between me and somebody. And I'm like, I was, again, operating off my feelings. I'm working on it. Because I know y'all probably like, girl, but I'm working on it. I was operating from like emotions and feelings, and the emotions between us were really high. So there was no need to have a conversation when emotions are high, right? And I had a moment where I prayed about it, and God was like, yeah, take a step back and look at this from a different point of view, right? Perspective, shifting perspectives. And I'm like, okay. And now he's like, now check your heart. Because you're toting around that frustration. You're toting around that anger. Every time you see her, you're upset, or you're irritated, or you're angry. But you have to hold a posture of forgiveness. Y'all had a disagreement, so why would you hoard that unforgiveness, that anger, and everything on your heart when I'm telling you to forgive? I forgave you. You've had situations where you needed other people to forgive you. And so now you're in a situation where you're going to posture yourself to be angry? Huh? What are we talking about? How? Why? You know? And so I was like, okay, so how do I posture myself? What does that look like? How does that feel? Right? And when I prayed about it, I prayed and I talked to the Lord. And one thing that I realized is that in situations like that, when it comes to heart posture, the way that you handle things really starts from within, right? Especially on this journey, in this walk, it starts from you knowing who you are, knowing what your triggers are, working through those things, and then being vocal, right? So for me, I had to go to somebody and I'm like, okay, listen, this is the situation. This is what happened. I need guidance on pinpointing where the emotions came from and why I'm upset so that I could shift the way that my heart is looking at this. Because everything we do flows from our heart, right? So you have to make sure that your heart posture is checked. You have to check your heart posture so you can shift your perspective. And then you got to put yourself in a position to be better. And positioning can be very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Once you have gone through and you've fixed your heart posture, you've shifted your perspective, you have to put yourself in a position to improve. Or put yourself in a position where, okay, I know that this triggers me, so I'm going to do this, right? Making sure that you don't allow yourself to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't allow yourself to be complacent in misunderstanding people or in frustration, in anger, or anything like that. You have to make sure that you place yourself in a position, even not even just with people, but with God as well. You get what I'm saying? Placing yourself in position, whether that be on your knees, on your face, praying, repenting, asking for forgiveness, everything in between. Like, just making sure that you're putting yourself in position to win and to be better and to grow and to achieve. Because going into a new season can be scary. It can be frustrating. It can be overwhelming, but it can also be exciting, depending on where your 3 P's are. Depending on your position, depending on your perspective and your posture, you shifting into what it is that God has for you, or shifting into that new season, or working towards something new, you can view everything that is happening around you. If your P's not in check, honey, everything that's happening around you, you're going to think that it's happening to you and not for you, right? So once you get in the habit of mastering your P's and having people around you that hold you accountability. Before I got on camera, my team was chewing me out. Accountability. Like, you have to have people around you that hold you accountable to making sure that your P's are in check, right? And so once you get those people around you that are able to hold you accountable, and you're holding yourself accountable as well, and you got your 3 P's in check, where God is taking you next is going to feel so, you're going to go from being anxious to pure excitement. It's going to be like, okay, God, I know that, yeah, my boss just made me mad, and yeah, I probably want to flip out for real, but I know that something new is coming, and I know that if I look at this from a perspective of being angry, and I position myself to play get back, then it's not going to work for me. Or I can look at it from a perspective of, okay, yeah, he done made me mad, but I'ma just, what good can I pull from this? Okay, he gave me a piece of feedback in the midst of him being rude, or in the midst of him being ugly. There was a piece of feedback that I could use that would be beneficial to me. I'm going to take that. I'm going to leave all of the other stuff where it's at, and I'm going to roll with that. You get what I'm saying? So just all in all, right? Just put yourself in the head. It's all about controlling your mind, controlling your thoughts, taking captive thoughts and making them obedient to Christ. Like, it's all about your thought process. It's all about the way that you think, and it's all about how you respond to what you think. So, yeah, I just want y'all to be encouraged. Make sure that y'all are surrounding yourself with people who hold you accountable. Make sure that your P's are in check, my loves, because we are getting ready to soar into new heights. The new year is right around the corner. God is about to do something big for each and every one of y'all. If he about to do it for me, and y'all watching me, then y'all know he in the neighborhood and he's swinging through, okay? I'm so excited about everything that God is going to do. I love y'all. Thank y'all for always supporting and tuning in. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I will catch y'all in the next episode. Bye.
if you wanted to add anything, you could talk about the perspective of the scripture where it says, "Don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And I heard this in a sermon Sunday that talked about the world isn't just, music and secular and what most people think the world to be. The world can also be your situation and how it can change your own perspective around how you think and how you feel, and literally allowing that personal, that world situation to change your own mind, which is it's easy to do when you're in the mix. But on the backside, I think it's important to understand that you shouldn't let your situation change you either, which, I think it's an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that though. That makes so much sense. I like that. The world not just being like the world and it not being so broad, but kind of pulling it in and bringing it home and mixing it into, where you are and how you think and how you feel. That's good.
Yeah, my mom, she kind of hit me earlier with a monkey wrench first thing this morning, and similar to what you were saying, how you can get a phone call and that can throw you off, that can derail you. And what she was saying, there was a lot of truth in it. It was difficult to see it and receive it in that moment because the delivery was a little crappy. But I said, all right, mom, let me call you back. And I took a moment and I prayed and I said, okay, Lord, just speak to me around why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And if it's truth in it, show it to me so that I can perceive it, I can apply it, and then I can, change.
Yeah.
And along that same line of thinking, in that moment, I said, let me just take a second and get off the phone. Let me reposture my heart. Let me approach, the situation with some form of humility.
Yeah.
Let me talk to God about it. And instead of letting it linger and fester and waiting hours and then the rest of the day, within the span of 5-10 minutes, I called her back. And I said, I get it. I prayed about it. Delivery wasn't good, but
I got you.
The reality is that what you're saying has a lot of validity, and it took me a moment to reposition my perspective and my heart posture to see the truth and the good in it.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Which takes practice and maturity, and for you to even address it says a lot to us. That you're willing to change and you're willing to do the work. It's just that sometimes the work take a long time.
Sometimes the work take a long time. Sometimes the work is tough. Sometimes the work don't feel good, but the work is working.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
Which is allowing you to mature a lot faster than people who ignore, people who don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And for those who have gone through their own traumas, because we all go through it. But some people acknowledge it and some people don't. And,
that's true.
People are called to affect lives, but it may be based on the victory that they get out the situation versus not fighting it off. So, I think we're very proud of you.
Thanks.
I mean, obviously there's room for growth. But
okay. He got real loud. Okay.
That's why, with me, sometimes, my delivery ain't the best. We do it. Which is why we have Papa Josh to clean it up.
To clean it up.
But at the end of the day, the reason why we push you so hard is because we know you got it in you. And so we know when you just So sometimes me and Josh would be. Sometimes I'm like, Josh, take this, because I might not say it right. It's not saying that it's never coming from a bad place. It's just it's a lot of love because we believe in you so much. We believe in a vision, and it's just like, girl, you gotta see what you can get get out of this.
I will say something that like I'm really practicing right now, and I've been practicing it now for a few days, is listening more than I speak. And taking the necessary time to digest before speaking, because I want my words to be impactful. Like I want what I say to have meaning. So I feel like if I sit and I listen and I observe and I take a second to receive and digest, I'm able to speak and what I'm saying be impactful, or what I'm saying, I don't want to waste words. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't want to just be talking. Like I want there to be purpose in it. I want there to be impact in it. Like I want there to be influence in it. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to just be so. Like now, even with what y'all was saying when I was in the bathroom, I was like, in my mind, I'm rolling my eyes.
We know.
because you're asking me questions that you know the answer to. So in my mind, I'm rolling my eyes. Like I'm like, why would they want to irritate me before I gotta sit in front of this camera? Like, why would y'all want to do that? But then as I'm standing there and I'm like processing it, that's why I was trying not to say anything back. But you kept asking me questions, and I'm like, I'm trying to receive and I'm trying to be quiet and I'm trying to listen. But she asking me questions, and now I'm about to get irritated. But I'm trying to like be more like, I know that I'm growing, and I know that the position that I'm in is not like, I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sometimes it can come off as like I take this lightly. You get what I'm saying? And like I never wanted to feel like I take this lightly, because I know that I'm gifted, but sometimes like being gifted can be challenging. Like it can be a situation where you just kind of like, I mean, yeah, I know I'm gifted, but I'm kind of scared. Like, I don't know how big it's gonna get. What if they decide to stop helping me? What if they get tired of me? You know, it's just like, I have those moments where I'm like, I have to switch my posture. I was journaling about it earlier. I have to switch my posture. I have to switch my perspective and start like enjoying the now, the here and now, and enjoying the people that I have, you know, because I be in my head sometimes. And that's why I'm like, I'm standing in the bathroom and I'm receiving what y'all saying, and I'm like, yeah, it's crazy that like y'all are bringing this up, because it was a conversation that I had with myself where I'm like, okay, Rayada, you talking about 3 Ps, but you working on your perspective. I've been working on my perspective a lot. I've been working on my posture, but my position is not, like, I'm not putting myself in this space to be successful. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not managing my time the way that I need to be managing my time. Like, I haven't had a by any means mindset for a while now. And that's a part of who I am. Like, I'm like, I gotta get it by any means. Like, we gotta get it done.
But you're evolving.
Yes.
And you can acknowledge the areas that you've made progress in. Mm-hmm. And you can also acknowledge the areas that you still
I need a little bit of work.
Do more work in.
Yeah, cause
and for us, right, we don't, iron sharpens iron.
Right.
You know, to be gifted and to be effective comes with sharpening and friction, and processing.
That's good.
And pressure and support. And it takes, you know what I mean? All of it. Irritation, it takes all of it.
Yeah.
Because without the irritation, it's like there's no unction for you to want to change. Mm-hmm. And if you're being irritated, it's because that irritation.
There's a little truth in it.
Yeah. The irritation is like, it's causing you to be like,
I already had that argument with myself already.
It's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, that was me. I'm like, yo, I literally just had this conversation with myself,
Like,
and now I'm getting mad.
I'm already beating myself.
I'm already beating myself up about it, and here we go.
But you talk about your 3 Ps.
Yeah.
But then that's the point of having support.
Right.
And support isn't always, hey, let me help you. Support is did you do? Did you not do the correction?
Right.
And if not correcting, accountability.
Right.
If we didn't
like
say
I was just
anything,
talking about.
Then it's as if we really don't care.
Right.
And that's why we keep reminding you of certain things, putting it in there. It's like one day she gonna get it. We just gonna keep on. We don't know. One day she gonna get it.
And I appreciate that, because when I tell y'all, like, I be like, I'm trying, like, I sat down and I pulled out my planner for the first time, and oof. I started writing stuff in my planner, like, because I'm missing stuff, and I'm like, hold up. Let me just start, let me get it back to writing. Because I started, like, entering it into my phone calendar, but I'm realizing, like, I'm a tangible person. I got to write it down. We got to write that down.
I used to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like that for the later half of 2 years when I started my business, but my calendar was stolen. And not just my calendar, but my equipment, my camera, my lenses, my laptop.
Got you.
So when everything was stolen, I had to start over. And I said, well, what's a strategy that works for me in the event that this happens again? And that's when I made the mental transition to do more digital.
And that's why I was telling you about Calendly.
Yeah, I'm trying to like find what works best for me for the season that I'm in, right? Because I feel like the season that I'm in now is something that Pastor Mike said Sunday that like stuck with me. He was talking about beauty, and he was like, real beauty is balance. And I was like, see, I'm trying to get there. I'm like, and so like I'm trying to figure out what works best for me. So like I started like entering stuff in my phone. So like my calendar in my phone, I have like, it's in there. Everything is in there, right? But for me, it's the tasking. Like I have to figure out where to put my task, the stuff that I need to do. You get what I'm saying? Like I know, like I can time block my time, but I need to visually be reminded of my task. You get what I'm saying? During the day? So I have to figure out like that sweet spot for myself. So I was like, okay, let's try to pull the planner back out. Let's see if we can start. And so now I have to go into my calendar and time block a few minutes in the mornings to write down stuff that I need to do.
That's good.
You know? And I want to try that, hopefully, like, because I really want to be more effective, right? Like, I want to be posting more, like you get what I'm saying? I want to be effective. I want when y'all tell me something, y'all don't have to remind me because I'm going to do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get to that point where I'm like, okay, I got this done. I made the time to do this. I remembered that I had to do it because most times I be forgetting. I remembered that it needed to get done, and I made the time to get it done. You know, and that's where like I'm trying to find like where my sweet spot for that is, because it's like finding balance is tough. Like this shifting seasons alone is tough, but like from like me like talking to my therapist and like me feeling that things are shifting but not necessarily knowing what's next, I already feel like I'm all over the place. So like I need to be a little bit more structured in like where I can turn to know what I need to get done in the midst of whatever is happening. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's where.
Reminds me of when I was in therapy. A lot of people think, you know, you need to have everything structured, or some people you need to be free, just let it flow. But honestly, you need both to be able to have a enjoyable, fulfilling life. You still need to allow yourself that freedom to be able to have those spontaneous moments, but you still need to have structure so that you don't miss tasks, because being able to still allow yourself time to have freedom, but then knowing that you have your tasks, that's how you can eliminate anxiety. That's how you can eliminate feeling depressed. That's how you can eliminate a lot, or that's how you can control it, control it. Because see, you're not going to have anxiety whenever you're able to get your tasks done. And you're not going to have anxiety if you're like, oh, I just want to, hang out, have a day to relax today. Because in the back of your mind, you already know that you done already did everything that you said that you want to do. So you're literally able to actually enjoy with a clear mind your time.
So I guess my question would be like, how do I integrate them both at the same time?
Whew, you know, I do 10 million things at
You
one
know,
time.
I think practical advice is best here, and I think you're starting the practice of doing it.
Okay.
You pull out your planner.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you've already got
Start
your
there.
to-do list, your task,
Yeah.
the practice of writing it down and checking it off when it's done. The checklist, that works every single time.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna start that.
Then on the other side, you've already got time blocked off. So it's not like you're not doing it. It's just the practice of being consistent in it.
And then whenever you do it enough, it becomes a routine.
Right.
So like every morning whenever I wake up, I have the exact same routine. Some things change just a little bit because remember, you can't be too structured because it's gonna be, you're gonna feel like you're in a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just feels like, oh, I'm just doing the same thing, a little run. So every once in a while I throw a little, you know, change in there. But every morning I wake up. After I wake up, first thing I gotta do is pop a squat, read a book, put on my gospel music. My Alexa has my little, and my Alexa plays my gospel music, so it's set on a routine. And then by the time I finish that, you know, get myself together, brush my teeth, take a shower, whatnot, get myself together for the day. I'll go downstairs,
Okay, Britt.
and then
we got it.
you take the time to plan.
We got it.
So, yeah. But I'm just saying, like I
Don't do it like that.
I literally have
No, I got it.
the same little schedule.
I get it.
So
makes sense.
my
But it'll get easier as you do it over and over.
it does. It does. My advice to people that are struggling with that is pick one task to do every single day and start there. And that task, for most people, that's easy and a good place to start is making up your bed.
Oh, I do that.
Make up your bed. If you can get in the habit of doing that every single day, it'll be easier to add other things to that.
Throw in the book too. I know you haven't read that book in a minute. Because that's literally what it talks about is happiness.
Who's that?
You already make up your bed every day. I would add something else to that task.
Okay.
And it could be as simple as reading a couple pages in the book. Or something that's not already a part of the routine.
Got you. Okay.
Like journaling. Whatever that
See,
one thing is though.
Yeah.
It's,
Just
you add
take
to
my
it.
time.
Take your time and you add to it. Grab
Yeah.
your bed every day, grab your teeth every day, take a shower every day.
Right.
Find creative ways to incorporate small changes that make big differences.
Atomic
And don't
habits.
get down on yourself if one day you fall out of that routine just for a day. It's okay.
Yeah.
Come back to it. You know what I'm saying? The next
Yeah.
day. So don't, because that's another thing is you don't want to also be so focused on, all right, I have to do this every single day to the point that one day you might just wake up and be like, I don't feel like doing it today.
I'm gonna sleep in.
I want to sleep in today. That's
Yeah.
fine. But we're going to do it tomorrow.
Got you.
Exactly.
That makes
But
sense.
don't keep pushing it off. That's the big thing.
Yeah. Cause I do that sometimes. I'm just, in the arts of like growing. I feel like this next season that I'm slowly entering, it's like becoming her. Like that's my
But it's going to
my dream self.
in the long run.
It's just becoming. I like becoming her.
Season
Her
2.
is like-
Season 2 could be becoming.
Literally like
Oh.
ooh. But yeah, that's kind of where I am. Like becoming. That's what we are.